So chat, as always, during these, I pull videos from my Hot Topics channel on my Discord, where you guys link some stuff, and I always go through and watch it. I prefer to do non-Overwatch or rival stuff, expand our horizons. And this is one of those games that I've had on my list to play for a long time. I just never gotten around to it. Deep Rock Galactic. And the fact that I even mentioned this as a possibility is something to watch, and you guys all start spamming Rock and Stone to the bone. Wait, is that the new version? I figured we could watch this one first. Why not? The cult-like fan base of Deep Rock Galactic. I can't tell you, every time I've ever even mentioned the thought of playing this game, people come out of the woodwork and start spamming for weeks. When are you going to play? 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 So let's watch.
So I've been driving consistently for about 4 years, and it was only up until a couple of months ago where I actually looked around me for the first time while getting out of my car to head inside my house. I stood outside and looked down to see grass for the first time without just looking at it through my peripherals.
Damn, that's crazy.
As I pondered just a little bit more, I realized that I don't even remember the last time that I've even touched grass. Yeah, I know. I know this sounds absurd to you, and I'm doing the meme about the whole touch grass thing, but this is legitimately a thing that happened to me. I'm not making this up. To be honest, I'm just constantly busy. I just don't have time anymore. But you know what I...
This might be a little too real for a second, but I don't like touching grass. I don't mean actually legitimately touching it. I mean, I don't like stopping what I'm doing. I despise not having something to do. Every time I try to take time off, every time I try to go do something else, get away from things, enjoy, quote unquote, relaxing time, I can't do it more than a day. More than a day, I start to go crazy. Actual America pilled. No, you're not wrong. You know how everyone always memes? Like there's that meme for a long time of like, oh, people think streaming's a hard job, and like people would ask streamers like, what do you think's harder, a 9 to 5 or streaming? Don't get me wrong, streaming is not difficult. There is something that is difficult though. Being a content creator is difficult if you are not good at self-regulation and self-accountability. So what that means is some people need to have a time they're supposed to show up at work. They have to be at work at 9. If they don't have an outside force that is dictating them to show up at that time without consequences, they will never do it. They cannot be motivated at all, period. I am the opposite. I am extremely, 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 extremely hyper motivated, both intrinsically and extrinsically. Whether it's chasing quote unquote numbers, and those numbers aren't just like view numbers. They're like hours streamed, how much I climbed in a video game, did I get to do things that I wanted to do. So for example, like sometimes I'm like, okay, I need YouTube content for Rivals, I need YouTube content for Overwatch, I need YouTube content for Flats TV, which is where this will probably end up, right? Like those things, it's like holding myself accountable. Like, did I do all of these things? I crave that. I chase it. Without it, I go crazy and I get bored and I just lose my mind. I feel like I'm wasting my life. And I know there's more to life than doing those things. You're supposed to go on vacation. You're supposed to go see these things, but I can never relax on them. You know, I'll give you an example. When I went to LA for Streamer Awards, I took an extra day in LA just to like sightsee, because I've been to LA a bunch of times for Overwatch stuff. And I was like, I'm here by myself. I'm going to go sightsee. I literally didn't do shit. I went to one place and I went, why the fuck am I here? This is boring.
I did have time for going into my house, forgetting about the stupid grass, kicking my feet up on the table, and playing video games. That's what I had time for. And you know what game I loved to play when I got home? Not Deep Rock Galactic. A game about mining and collecting different colorful minerals in different procedurally generated caves on a hostile planet. Defending yourself from the variety of bugs and enemies that infest it.
Oh my. Oh, nice.
And afterwards having a nice beer with your buddies back at your spaceship. And maybe with the resources you collect on your adventures, you can upgrade your gear and your weapons. And I didn't like any of it. I wrote off this game back in 2021. And up until very recently, I had only around 10 hours on the game, until it was recommended to me by you guys. And
this is a classic. Which game should we play next? Put this on there. It's going to get the most votes.
I decided to give it another try. Now, as the viewer, you might be saying with a big frown on your face, hey man, if you don't like the video game,
Content creators tend to be like Jim Carreys of the world. They burn twice as bright, but last half as long in the field, and you will hit a wall someday and settle. Okay, listen, I'm not trying to get existential crisis here. I absolutely agree with you, and I've hit that wall 3 times, and then I've broken through that wall extremely quickly. To take it the next step, right? As I've gotten older, I can feel myself not having as much energy as like when I was 20, right? Like I just don't. Like I'm just not as eccentric. I'm not as like ready to go. But then I also stream 25 hours, 24 hours. I streamed 24 plus hours doing Overwatch drops, right? Never did that when I was younger. And then I'll take it one step further. Why wouldn't I burn as bright as I can and go as hard as I can when I'm able? Like what happens if I hit 40 and then, I don't know, I have some genetic condition that kicks in and all of a sudden I can't do it all the time. And then I'm like, damn, I wish I went harder when I was younger because now I can't do it anymore. Like, it's like one of those things where you're probably right, but what if this is my best time? What if this is the best time I'll ever have? What if I don't do it right now, then I'll never have another chance?
Then why are you even making a video about it? And to that I say you're right. You're right. How can you not like the game?
Sorry, let's go back to Deep Rock Galactic. A little too existential crisis there.
Everyone chant the same damn catchphrase every time. Just
true. Wait, I saw that cock and boner. I saw it.
Steam reviews and go on Metacritic and you'll find that what I said was wrong. Even if it's an opinion. My opinion was wrong. So many people love this game, and for a good reason too, but I really didn't pay attention to any of that at the time. I was too busy playing Counter-Strike. Hold on, he won't watch this lineup though.
Oh god.
Good show, jolly good. See, Deep Rock was originally recommended to me out of the blue by a friend. He calls me up on Discord one day and he says, "Hey bro, I just found a game. It's called Deep Rock Galactic. Have you heard of it?" And so like any good friend would do, I let out a big sigh and reluctantly went into the Steam store and I bought the game. And I played it, collecting Morkite, protecting Loretta, figuring out what each class specialized in. I mainly played the Scout because he's fast and he had a grappling hook. That was kind of my style of play, so I liked it.
Dumb question. Is it like an online game? Like, I know you can play with friends, right? But like, is it like Minecraft World Online, or is like you queue in
a little bit
with other people?
There you go.
Oh boy.
Good job, man. You got it.
So next time I'm gonna need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I got to listen to my friends talk about all the different upgrades you can have on your weapon.
It's mission based. So like, what if you don't have a group to people to play with? There's matchmaking. I thought this game was like kind of like Minecraft, where you could have like a world, right? And you'd have a world, and that's your world, and then you go and visit other planets and go mining. Is that not how it is?
Not that I listened, because I didn't really care. I put a snowman hat on myself. Quite immersion breaking, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Dark Alien 13 months.
Fuck you. I played the little mini game with the barrel in the hub area, and all of this ended with about 10 hours of gameplay or so in total before I checked it off my list one day, uninstalled the game, and abandoned it in my massive pile of forgotten video games in my Steam library.
Space Engineers. What's this? Is this Speedrunners? No. I don't know why I thought that was Speedrunners. Among Us.
And my verdict? The game was okay.
Multiverse.
I don't really get the hype around it. Now, I'm not saying that I outright hated the game. I guess you can say
the character looked like a Speedrunners guy.
You know, have played it if I didn't have anyone else to play it with me. It was one of those games that I enjoyed only because I was talking with my friends.
You motherfucker, I literally have a drill.
And the game was just sort of there in the background. I didn't really like the game as much as everyone else. Why? Well, for a rational person that's listening to me, they can say, well, I guess the game just isn't for you. And that's fine. Some people just can't get into certain games. But that doesn't make sense to me. How can I not like the game if it's a shooter with cool guns and with a beautiful art style? My channel was originally based off of Overwatch.
Oh, that's your problem. Your channel was based off of Overwatch. That's tough.
Like the game if it's a shooter with cool guns and with a beautiful art style. My channel was originally based off of Overwatch. I used to love that game for that reason alone.
Oh, so your taste is just cooked. Okay, got it.
Among other reasons. I have friends to play it with, that isn't the issue. I love first-person shooters. I have over 3,000 hours on Counter-Strike, which I regret every waking day of my life, but that isn't the point. All the aspects of this game point to me liking it, and as I'm sitting down at my desk right now, I can't for the life of me figure out why I didn't. So what's the problem here? Why do my friends like this game more than me? Why does everyone seem to like this game more than me? Maybe something was wrong with me mentally. Maybe I was depressed, I don't know. I felt casted out.
I mean, it's okay to not like games everyone else likes. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I tried it again. And it wasn't my idea either. The small community that flooded in on my last video told me to. And so like any good video creator should, I looked at my community votes, I let out a big sigh, and reluctantly dug out Deep Rock from the pile of my forgotten games. Dusted it off, and installed it once more, and I told myself, if I'm going to play this game again, I can't play like how I played it last time. Something needs to change. So I played it alone. The first time ever playing this game alone, and it seems weird to play it in this way. You see the trailer for it on Steam and you think that it's supposed to be a co-op game, but it doesn't have to be. If you do play it alone, you get this really cute companion that replaces your friends. His name is Bosco. Look how cute he is.
Aww.
Bosco fetches minerals for you, slowly worrying his way up to any mineral you ping and letting the bits drop beneath you as you pick it up. He shoots bugs occasionally as well. Not that effective, but, you know, it helps. Kind of. And if it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't have known that he existed. See, because I didn't come in with a mindset to play with friends and have a good time with them, I abandoned them and actually looked around me, you know, actually paying attention to what I'm playing. And it was amplified when I don't have friends to distract me and ruin my immersion.
How would you feel if your dick was just like that carrot you have on your mask?
So, have I learned anything? Did I take anything in this time that I didn't last time? I honestly don't even know where to start, to be honest. There's just a lot of things. So let's...
yeah, I'm confused.
Weapons. Yeah, let's just do weapons. I got more weapons.
Okay, maybe it's a bit of a hot take, but depending on who you play with can make or break a game. I'll tell you my own experience. I probably would have quit Overwatch years ago, many years ago, if I didn't have Emong to play with. There was a point before even Overwatch 2 even launched. I mean, how many people even know this lore? Probably a very small handful of people because I was a small creator at the time. I was going to leave Overwatch for Apex because Apex was booming at the time. And I was playing Apex and I was pretty decent at it. I only played like 2 weeks and I was like knocking on the door of Masters. And I was like, damn, like I could do this. I really could. I remember talking to Emong about it. And he was like, if you want to do it, like you should, you know. He's like, I think Overwatch 2 will be worth the wait. And I was like, no, you're probably right. And I was like, dude, honestly, if I didn't get on to play with you every day, because like he would actually, because we would just joke around, we'd have good games. Like solo queue was miserable, right? Like everyone would sit there, no one would talk. You know, you get like, we didn't have streamer mode at the time, so like every once in a while you jump in that, you get in that game where like somebody's a fucking weirdo because you're a streamer. I play with other streamers sometimes, and like there was nothing against anyone, but like we just couldn't joke around the same way we joked around. And like. That's why we always played together, because like it's very weird. We balance each other out in a lot of ways where like I'm the hyper aggressive type and he's like much more passive, so like we always end up somewhere in the middle, right? Where like someone says some dumb shit in our games, like a lot of times he would be a little more quiet, and I'd fucking tell them to go f themselves, right? But it goes the opposite too, where like he has so many funny, witty shit, like funny things that cut like just like, and you don't even catch them half of the time. Like sometimes he'll say something and like 10 seconds later I'm like, what the f did you just say? But the opposite can happen too, where if you play with a group of friends in a game and like you're playing to like immerse yourself, right? Like let's say you're trying to play Among Us. I'll tell you, you know what? Drama time. When Among Us came out, I started playing a little bit of Among Us with like Overwatch people, and it was fun. And then we had a small group, and then people started inviting more and more people like outside of our group, and they basically became like every Overwatch creator that ever existed. And no offense to many of them, but like they were fucking insufferable to play with. Like they were just like I don't even think they're bad people, but like they were the worst. They would scream, like we would be in the lobby together, like, you know, oh, who did it, who it is, and they would just start fucking like they're like brute forcing their way through everything, like treating it like it's comp. And dude, it was so fucking ass, because like I don't want to hear this fucking asshat screaming for the next 30 seconds in this lobby. I don't even care if they did it anymore. I just want to leave. So I stopped playing it. Yeah, I was having such a fun time playing Among Us at that time, and I was like, dude, this is ass. Like your personality fucking sucks, dude. Like you don't have a good argument. You just scream. Like you're dumb as rocks. And so it really can make or break a game. I actually get that. I think that's actually a really good take. And unfortunately, sometimes if you play games with friends, like it'll make the game or it might make it worse.
And I never realized just how cool and unique they really were. You want to shoot a platform that you can stand on? You can do that. Or maybe you want to freeze your enemies with the...
No, they weren't even trying to be funny. They weren't trying to be funny. They were trying to win. That's the worst part. It wasn't even for content. Like they were just like brute forcing it to win the Among Us lobby. That's the worst part.
Platform that you can stand on? You can do that. Or maybe you want to freeze your enemies with the cryo cannon. Are you even doing anything to that? What the fuck is that? Oh my... Maybe you want dual-wielded weapons. Oh my god. I'm fucking Tracer, dog! I don't want to play Overwatch again, I'm good. Yeah, that's all the weapons I have so far, by the way.
Damn.
I love the Scouts. And no, fuck you, I'm not playing anything else. The caves are phenomenal. Not only are they super colorful and unique, but you can essentially break everything. It's like your own little sandbox. Oh, no, don't break that. No, don't break that. Don't break that.
Oh, the ceiling gonna come
And when
down?
I say that these caves are unique, I mean that in this biome specifically, you can hang glide on whatever this is. You go into this one and you get these annoying little blue things that never stop spawning and electrocute the shit out of you. This one you get electrocuted, except it's not by bugs, it's by a rock. And this one you get, well, this one you... okay, this one's just nasty. I actually really don't like this one. Fungus bogs is crap. But regardless of what biome you enter in, each one has its own wonderful color palette. Each one is beautiful in its own way if you just take the time to take it all in. Thank you to the developers for implementing cinematic mode, by the way. I can press H and everything looks so much better.
Wait, what happens in cinematic mode?
Oh my god.
Oh, it just turns off the HUD?
Goddamn screenshot. This game is beautiful. It really is.
That's cool.
And not only is it beautiful, but the sound design that they have for this game is pretty phenomenal too. Rather than hearing my friends scream at the top of their lungs, I can now hear what they were drowning out the entire time. The collection of random meteorites crashing down around you as you try and escape the crash zone. The sound of the dreadnoughts when you open their cocoon to release them. The explosion from the engineer's grenade launcher. The suspense you feel when Deep Rock Galactic A Distant Terror plays.
Can't pick up the barrel.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
I just shat myself.
I want you guys to imagine, as one often does, that you have a pet monkey. And while you're trying to play a video game that you've never played before and trying to get into, this monkey is in your room, climbing around, screaming at the top of its lungs, and flinging its poop at your screen. That was my first experience while trying to play Deep Rock. Except the monkey wasn't a monkey, it was my friends. Look, I love my friends, I really do, but if you're like me, I can't concentrate on anything if I'm talking to them, especially if you've been playing with them for a long time.
So, fun fact, talking and playing is actually very difficult to do in a lot of games. You know what's actually funny? It's not, I'm sure it's fine. I did an interview with Aaron Keller this past week for Stadium stuff, and we talked about it after, and one of the feedbacks that they kind of gave was like, we might have to change the format in the future because they played Stadium with us. Because we were trying to ask them questions, and because they were playing the game, and also because of our MMR, so like it was like me, CarQ, and Spilo, and then Aaron, and then Dylan, who were two Overwatch devs, one being Aaron, the game director. They had to stop talking because they were playing the game, and they would lose their train of thought. So it didn't really make a great interview, TBH. Unfortunately, like, still loved playing with them. It was great, but like in the future, we might have to do like a version where like we Discord screen share, and like I play and then they watch and then talk and we ask questions and go back and forth, because like they had a hard time playing and talking and answering complex questions as we played. So I can see that with your friends, like paying attention to what's going on around you and everyone's yapping, especially if like, you know, you're talking about things that are not in the game. I can see where that ends up being a big issue. What game is this? Deep Rock Galactic. All right, let's continue.
And it's really weird for me to say that my friends caused me to not enjoy the game as much, because this game was meant to be played with your friends, or at least with other people. Like when I'm playing with them, I clearly see the caves and I see how nice everything looked, but I failed to put the pieces together and say, wow, this is actually a wonderfully styled game. My brain was clouded. It was clouded and rotten. My thousands of hours on shooters and the distraction from my friends made me play the game the first time with tunnel vision. You see a bug, you shoot it. You see another bug, you shoot that one. You see the objective. Oh, okay. Collect more kite, do this, yeah. Okay, all right. Talk to your friend while doing it.
Yeah, you're honestly talking stupid right now.
Repeat the process. Finish the mission. Talk to your friend again. End the call. End the game.
Yeah, I can see that.
So my solution? Abandon the monkey and continue to play the game without them. No poop to wipe off my screen.
No boop.
I didn't get very far in the perk tree when I first played, but the second time around I collected enough star points by completing achievements, and the perks you pick are actually pretty cool. If you want some jet boots, you can pick them up and potentially save yourself from fall damage.
Where do you see your hover boots?
Okay,
I don't see 'em.
so do you see it? You have the hover boots on, right? Like, did you have to... I like how you look down at your feet. You can't even see.
Shut the fuck up, please.
Heightened senses prevents you from getting kidnapped and taken to a sex dungeon.
You have a ball sack
What?
bug on you, man. That's where you went wrong.
Press G, press G. That's your...
I've been kidnapped. I'm gonna need some help. You're taking
Kind
me
of
to a
in the
sex
middle.
dungeon.
Iron Will
You
is
get
definitely a good
kidnapped?
one. Pretty useless if you're playing alone, but the way I see people use it nowadays is they use it to revive themselves, run away from where they originally die, and then die in a different spot. I'm actually not sure why you would pick that perk now that I'm thinking about it. I think maybe that like gives you a better score or something, but it's there. But Beastmaster, oh, Beastmaster is by far my favorite perk in this entire game. Fuck my friends. Fuck Bosco. Now we got Steve, bitch. He's a bug you hire. He's a fucking traitor. He kills the Glyphids for you and pulls aggro. Who needs friends or a girlfriend when you have Steve?
Steve.
Good job, man. I'm proud of you.
Wait, that's sick, actually.
There's just so much.
I like
there's
Steve.
just so much stuff I missed in this game. You want to dress as a power lifter? Yo, you can do that. From the side profile, you look like a woman's like power lifter. Or maybe you want to wear the ugliest green outfit you've ever seen in your life.
Oh
Maybe you
god,
wanna
everyone's gonna
dress
say I am
as
Steve.
Mario.
Oh god.
And then maybe have
Minecraft
like a
movie
little
has done
tattoo on the side of your arm.
unrepairable
Dude,
damage.
That tattoo is sick. Hold on. You gotta pay for that though, but gladly. I'd pay for cosmetics gladly. This game is phenomenal now. I can tell. Now I can tell. And I can thank you guys for bringing this game back to life. Playing this game alone seems like it would be an absolutely terrible idea. And for some people, it might be. But doing it alone gave me time to appreciate what the developers worked so hard on.
Interesting he says that, because that's actually one of the things that's held me back from playing it, is I feel like I wouldn't have fun by myself and it would get boring kind of quick, and then I just move on.
Like the map terrain. I was able to notice the little different variety plants, the cute little fucking disgusting larva bugs, the smooth and fluid movement and reload animations, which thank God, by the way. Otherwise, this game would have looked like a copy of Pixel Gun 3D. I'm gonna have
What the hell is that?
sort of a mildly warm take here. I would argue that the community for Deep Rock Galactic is almost non-existent when you're playing on servers. And when I mean non-existent, I mean nobody ever talks. Ever. In-game. I didn't even know you were able to go in a voice chat until I searched it up in the settings. And what that means is that if there's no voice chat, there's quite literally no way for someone to shit on you. Nobody cares if you mess up. Everyone just communicates through pings, which is realistically all you need to do for this game. Not a single mission that I've played in co-op has turned sour. Not a single one, and I've played a decent amount now. And it's left me wondering, why?
That's kind of nice, actually.
Why are they so nice? Why does everyone chant rock and stone in every comment section? For Carl. Who is Carl?
Who's
the
Carl?
fuck is Carl? Why is this game beloved by so many people? Well, you might say that it's everything that I just said. But in my estimation, I think it's this. The hub area, where you first load into the game. The place where you can spend a surprising amount of time in and not feel like it's just an area
Did I
for
just
you
see
to
someone
pick a
hitting the
mission and
gritty?
head on your way to the actual content. It's the motivational terminal that asks if you've done your part. It's the weapon rack as the rock pox slowly engulfs everything it touches. It's the fact that you can tap on the glass on the incubation tubes on whatever the hell these things are. Oh,
Dude, this guy doesn't let us have any
I
fun.
know, right? Jesus
I'm gonna turn
Christ.
in my 2 weeks.
this looks like my dog. Like my 20-year-old dog. It's the fact that the glitchy
Hey,
terminal
that's
recognizes everybody as a valued customer. It's the colorful and comfy abyss bar that waits for you as you go on your
It does
next
look cool.
cave
You know what's...
adventure.
This might sound weird, but this bar reminds me of Stray. I can't explain it to you, but it reminds me of Stray.
It's the fucking Chinese takeout and messy table that nobody has bothered to clean. It's the fact that you're in a spaceship that looks and sounds like a full working machine. It's the ambience of it all. It's this animated LED light strip. It's this clever Discord implementation. It's this... Oh my god, what the fuck?
What? No fucking way, this Flappy Bird.
Yes! Yes!
And they call it Jetty Boot.
Oh, you
There's
suck.
no
It's Jet
way.
Boot. It's also this anti-gravity button.
Recalibration commencing. Expect turbulence.
Whoa. That's right.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? That was crazy, man.
Well, it was crazy.
Mach 5 across the map. It's the fact that you can play soccer with your buddies in the hub if you want to. It's the fucking posters. The
Together we can do
that
it.
give you advertisements for weapons. Almost as if you received it in the mail and posted it up on your bunk for motivation that maybe one day you'll get that beloved breech cutter. What really put the icing on the cake for me to really get into this game was finding the Memorial Hall, a special semi-hidden section on the space rig. A section that captures what I think is the coolest part about this entire game. Realizing
like
the
I just
dark,
got this part
twisted
spoiled, but it's
story of
okay.
it all, walking in
Kinda
and
my
discovering
fault.
the statues to salute and commemorate the dwarves that worked here before you.
Already.
Yeah,
Walking
it's
in
like-
and seeing the Hoxie side view through the window panel near the promotion
Shit.
section. Knowing that every day you're working to drive back the glyphids that infest it. And to collect as many
Kinda like
resources as possible.
Helldivers before all the
All
shit.
while listening to this
You know?
grandiose track that plays when you enter the room. If
Like
you're like
Helldivers,
me,
if it didn't
you'll
fuck,
get caught
like
into
have
the fantasy of it
a
all.
lot of shit happen.
Fully immersed. Everything kind of makes sense now. You're a dwarf, recruited by Deep Rock Galactic, on this ship, headed to work every day on a dangerous planet, fighting and pushing back every day. While
Oh, it's
also
one
giving you
planet.
the sense
Okay.
of hopelessness, knowing that no matter how many glyphids
different
you
biomes.
eradicate, no matter how much infection you think you can stave off, there will always be more on that planet. Upgrading your gear to work harder and faster, not just for you, but for your other
Oh, it is different
friends.
planets? Oh, okay.
You leave no dwarf behind.
Leave no dwarf behind. Damn it, I can't get
Listen,
that
I
in
know
my
this
head
video
now.
is
It
coming
really
off
is
as a
like
bit pretentious
Helldivers,
right now, and I
but
get
without the
Oh,
stuff.
Oh my god, Angel, it's not any of this. It's simply the fact that they had a great concept and the caves look nice and there's a lot of variety and fuck you. It's all of that too, but this is what takes the cake for me. This is what got me back into playing. This is why I love this game. They're geniuses. The devs are geniuses.
I like
know
that
it might seem dumb,
There's always like something small
and
like that that
insignificant, but
always
I've
sticks
never
with
seen a
people.
game that immerses you into the role of who you're supposed to be more than Deep Rock Galactic. It's why I like the game so much. And now that I see it in a different perspective, I can finally play with my friends again. I let the monkeys back in. Okay. I let my friends back in again.
Hey Angel, hey Angel,
What's
hey
up?
Angel, hey Angel. This robot is just like my wife. It's very helpful, and I can it follows me around, and I can dump my load in it. This is gonna be in the video.
Jesus
Coming back to my
fucking
friends and
Christ.
playing this game now was a lot different than when I first played.
I
This game
now
can be
understand
fun
why
when
I was
played alone,
having
but
such
I
a hard
mainly used it
time
as a tool to get myself to enjoy it, to immerse
trying to
myself
figure out
first.
all the stuff
But with
around you.
friends, it's a whole different story. It's one of the most chaotic, adrenaline-pumping games that I have ever played, and everything about this game makes it so. Like this? What the? The epic music. The really good voice acting.
Yeah, I feel like the music would probably be the thing that gets me the most.
Close quarters combat, the horrifying sounds that each unique glyphid makes, all while they're surrounding you and your friends as you try and complete the objective. It's all pure and utter mayhem,
Who decided to pick this mission?
and I love it.
Love your content,
And
Flats.
yet,
Hope you
even
continue
though
to
I've
have a
essentially
prosperous
quadrupled
streaming
my
career.
playtime,
I also
I still have
witnessed a couple of cheaters in Rival, so I put them in the Discord.
So much
Thanks,
stuff
Raymond,
to unlock.
appreciated.
So many weapons that I've missed that I'm still aiming to get. There's still overclocks, which I haven't even gotten into yet, but they sound awesome. Deep dives are something that I just unlocked. And I didn't even know that there was a battle pass in this game. And it's free?
Oh, it's a free
And
battle
what's
pass.
That?
Wait,
A
that's sick.
cosmetics tree? So if you want something in specific, you don't have to waste your time going through other stuff you don't want and go into the route that you want? What fucking planet did I just get transported to? A battle pass that isn't awful. Wow. A game that allows you to
That's also probably the benefit of doing a paid game versus just a full
the
free
game
to
without
play.
shoving any microtransactions in your face. A game that incentivizes
But
teamwork by immersion.
that
A
is still
game
really
that
good. I'm not trying to
seems
take away from it or
repetitive,
anything.
But has so much content to offer. The different game modes, the seasonal objectives, all the missions, all the promotions and upgraded gear you get for your dwarves the more you play. It's almost like, stay with me, having a job, which is exactly how it's supposed to make you feel. Except it's not a 9 to 5 where you're sitting at a desk all day. It's a 9 to 5 where you're sitting at a desk pretending to be a dwarf who works for a badass mining company in
Deep Rock also lets you swap to a previous battle pass? That's
space,
cool.
and you kill cool spiders. Pretty well done, I'd say. Sure, this game isn't realistic at all, and that for some people can break their immersion when playing. Yeah, it's not a Red Dead Redemption, but it's heavily made up for when you take into account all the other details they added into the game. Also, this game wasn't made by Rockstar, it was made by an indie company with 32 people, so yeah, I would cut them some slack there. Getting into the role that the game asks you.
I feel like indie games are having a bit of a renaissance anyways. Like, a lot of people are really pissed off with a lot of the big AAA companies for a lot of their shit and a lot of their games recently.
To play is very special.
I wouldn't be surprised to see more like that soon.
With a different mindset. Not just to play, but to experience the game how it was meant to be experienced. And Deep Rock did a phenomenal job doing that by implementing the simplest of things. And I feel like that's exactly why so many people love games like these. And Deep Rock, in my opinion, is the one that shines the most. If you don't like this game, I suggest you play it alone. Or maybe you have, then I suggest you get some friends to play it with.
What the hell?
Let's try the other one.
You're shooting platforms at me. What the fuck? And if you don't have any friends, then I honestly, I really don't know what to tell you at that point. You'll figure it out, I'm sure. You know, you can go make some on some random server on here. These people are nice. And if you don't have Deep Rock Galactic, buy it.
Buy it. Luckily, I do have it, though. Alright, that was really good. It's one of those games I've had on my list for forever. You know, I just never gotten around. I have it! I have it already. I literally have it. I just haven't... I got it, though. I told you, it was one of those games I've had on my list, and I plan to at some point. I just don't know when.